Hey guys, I just finished up with the Manix 2 and Maximate, and the retest at least. That's what I just finished up with. So I'm gonna be doing S35vn. It's kind of a steal. I definitely I shit talk it quite a bit. I'm not one of those people who's a fan of S35vn. I don't think it was an improvement. On S30V. I think it was actually the other way around. So this time, you can see those happy little hands right there. I'm going to be keeping score. Every 100 cuts, I'm going to put a line. And then if it ends up being like, 152, and then I deem it to be, no longer really great edge, yeah, I'll just write, whatever, 52. And then that'll be it. And I'm going to be writing down and keeping a log of, just various tests I've done, the amount of cuts. I might even redo all of them and delete the videos. I don't know. Alright, let's get started. So I have a pretty good idea of what's about to happen. But we're just here to test that because, here's initial sharpness just before I make this first cut. Very aggressive edge. Of course, the paper's bent every which way. Yeah, that time it snagged. But it's a super clean edge, I promise. You can see right there. It's a clean cutter. Ergonomically, I'm not expecting a lot from this, just because the pocket clip is pretty atrocious. Edges are a little sharp. So without further ado, let me make sure I'm in frame. Let's get started. Wow. Much better than I thought. Probably one of the, I don't know. It seems very, very easy to cut, which I wasn't expecting. Oh. Alright, so that right there was about 50. So that would be half a little tick. Let's test sharpness again. Still good. Alright, let's see what happened. Nope, pretty clean. Pretty clean. Let's see. Wow, it is. There we go. That's an accurate representation. A lot of times with these choils, I kind of cut like this. So I get the paper here and I tear it. I'm not a perfect person by any means, and I'm going to say that's one of my biggest flaws as a human, is the way I cut paper with a knife. So that was 100 cuts right there. I'm gonna put a little mark. There we go. That's 100. Let's do a test of sharpness again after 100 cuts. Okay. There we go. So you can tell there are some imperfections, we'll call them, in the edge. Let's see if I can kind of accurately. Okay, so there we go. I'm kind of surprised that this is happening this early on. I mean, this is all the rope we've cut right there. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut till the end, till we have a real number. So that was just another 25 right there. Yeah, this is actually a really nice knife. The pocket clip is not a hot spot from what I see so far. Right here is going to be a little bit brutal on me because I cut like this. I just find that to be a little bit more comfortable. I have big old ape knuckles, we'll call them. So they kind of drag and I can get, you know, blisters or whatever. So that was 25. Let's keep going. Jeez. It's really taking some force now. I had a real toothy edge to start off with on this knife. 30 degrees. I did take off all the factory steel from this knife. It came at like a 52 degree bevel. Something crazy like that. And you can actually see it. The bevel widens a lot up here by the tip. That's because it's 30 degrees through and through. The whole thing is 30 degrees. Yeah, so yeah, this is honestly, I don't have a very high opinion of S35vn. I think I talk to Super Steel Steve a lot. That's not really a surprise. He shouts me out basically in every video, and I shout him out in basically every video. He was saying, and I totally agree with this, and it just, you know, it clicked so soundly in my mind. S35vn is the solution to a made-up problem, and those are his words, not mine, and boy, is it true. I love S30V. I was interested in S35vn when it first came out, but, you know, from what I see, it's not really doing too well, and I have a lot of use with S30V, and so that's 4, and I know it would be still doing pretty solid at this point. So that's 4, so 54 cuts. 154 cuts total made so far. Let's keep going. Alright, it's 200 cuts. Remember when my hand was turning red on the Maximate Manix 2? Well, here we go. That's gonna happen again. Yeah. It is what it is. I impulsively bought this knife. I work at a knife shop, so I got it for a pretty stinking good deal. And honestly, I loved it at first, but there's a lot of things wrong with this if you're going to be using it, you know, a lot, day to day. So... Oh, and I forgot to do sharpness. So it's not terrible. All right. That's pretty rough. I'm not liking that at all. So that's going to be 250 right there. So just to put this into perspective, this has more edge damage than Vitoku 2, and it hasn't cut as much as Vitoku 2. So let me continue cutting. Whew. What's up? My girlfriend's watching me cut this rope. So, I'm just going to throw this idea out there. A blooper reel of all the videos she actually messes up. So, she just got out of the shower now, and I immediately signaled over, shh, like, keep it down, because I'm doing a cut test. And this is actually a knife she carries, which is fucking me up. So that's 300 right there. Yeah, I keep asking for permission to sell this just because I don't really carry it, and I was like, hey, you know, why don't you carry it? And hopefully this test kind of hits that home.
Well, you know you're not on camera, right? Haha, made you look.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that's at 300 cuts. At this point, non-CPM steels are outperforming it. Alright, let's finish up this last little bit. So that's 347 cuts right there. I'm going to have a blister from this, just because it's so uncomfortable. But so far so good, I guess, in terms of S35vn, what I expected from it. Which I wasn't expecting much, but the fact that I've only been rolling this video for 16 minutes and it's basically dull is pretty fucking sad. Especially because this is meant to be a superior alternative to S30V. So, I'm going to check for blunting. Yeah. So you guys can see, you shouldn't really be seeing spots like that, and the whole edge is pretty much just kind of fucked. Yeah, you can see like here, I don't know what that is, because it's not my sharpening, I know that, and it didn't have a burr when I started, but it only has a burr right about here. Maybe it had a wire edge. There's no real way for me to know that. I could continue cutting, but at this point I'm going to end the test just because it's far duller than any other knife I've tested, and it's been through half, if that, of the cutting. So that's pretty much what I expected from S35. I thought it would do better than this, but I mean, it is what it is. So, alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.